It is 6:30 and we are going to go ahead and get started. So I hope you guys are all comfortable, maybe in your PJs. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go over real quick how the class runs because I know some of you guys are new. Probably about 20% have never taken my class before. So welcome, and welcome back to those who have taken my class before. It means so much for you guys to come back and support, and I'm just so thankful for all of you. So here is our kit. So you're going to want to take that out and unwrap your cookies right now. That would be a good time to do that. Anytime you guys have any questions at all during the class, please put it in the comments. I'm going to be reading these as we go along. So I'm going to go ahead and take my cookies out. You guys can go ahead and do the same. And I'm just going to set them. It'd be good if you guys set them in your tray. Be very careful with the gingerbread. He's a little fragile. And then we're going to take out this practice sheet that we have right here. And we're going to actually practice before we decorate our cookies. For those of you that have taken like tons of classes, you do not have to decorate, or you don't have to practice. Don't feel like you have to. But if you want the extra practice, go ahead. So we're going to take out our white, and I actually forgot to get scissors, so I'm going to go grab those real quick. I'm so sorry you missed the kit. We'll have more. I'll be doing this in January as long as it goes well tonight, so you'll have to let me know. So I'll be right back, 1 second. So I'm at the shop right now. I'm imagining all of you guys at the table. So you're going to take your white, and you're just going to massage the bag. When icing sits out, this is royal icing, when it sits out for, hi Alicia, when it sits out for a little bit, the icing starts to separate. I filled these bags on Friday, so there is a lot of separation. It's totally fine, just give it a big massage. The class will be available for replay, I believe. I'm gonna let it go on there, so as long as Facebook keeps it up. So I'm massaging it really well before I cut my bag. One thing I want to mention, I started and then I forgot. I'm just going to tell you a quick rundown of the class. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice. The second thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to outline your cookies and then flood them. You want to make sure that you're listening the whole time or just watching when I'm talking, just so that you don't miss any of the instructions. So if you guys are like on a cookie, if you can just pause for a second, I'll tell you the instruction and then you can go back to where you were at. I don't want you to feel rushed. You do have 6 cookies. We're going to start with decorating 1 of each, and if you're ahead and I haven't called you guys to look back up, go ahead and start on your second cookie. Otherwise, you can go do your second cookie later. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm just going to put my cookies aside. So again, massage your bag. The most important thing tonight that I can teach you is massaging your bag and also being careful not to cut your hole too big. It's better to cut your hole a little smaller than you think because you can always adjust it. Yeah, there are 2 extra bags in your tray, so if you do cut your hole too big, go ahead and just take that extra bag. You're going to cut this one open and squirt it in the new bag. So I'm just massaging it, and the way I cut my bag is I hold my seam up toward the ceiling. So the bag, if you feel it, there's a seam. I hold that up to the ceiling. I push the icing all the way to the tip, and then I'm going to cut a small hole, and I'm going to show you guys that up close so you guys can see. There we go. So if you can, so like I said, cut smaller than you think. You can always cut it a little bit more, but you can't uncut it. So I cut a small hole. You should also have a paper towel handy. I always do like a little squirt on my paper towel before I move on to my cookies. Alrighty, so I'm just going to change this view real quick. I'm going to show you the first line. The way that I hold my bag is I like to pinch where that tape is with my thumb and my pointer finger, and then I roll the bag nice and tight. Then I rest the pod in the palm of my hand, and I always make sure I keep this tip clean. I have my paper towel close, but I just go like this. A lot of you in my class just like to lick it. Do whatever you want. You guys, I can't see you, so I don't know what you do, but I like to hold my wrist steady. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my tip on the paper, soft pressure. I lift up as soon as the icing hits the paper. See how high I'm going? I'm going about an inch high, letting the icing fall on that line. And then when I get close to the end, I release the pressure, finish the line, put my tip down. I often just wipe off my tip. But if you can see here, let's see, I pretty much covered that line with my white icing. That's about the size hole that you want to do your lines. Okay, so go ahead and I hold my wrist. I'm always pinching this close, even though this tape is here, the icing can still come up the top. I'm holding my wrist steady, tip is on the paper, soft pressure, it hits the paper. If you're not putting enough pressure on the bag, your line is going to break, so you just want to add a little bit more pressure. But if your line is squiggly and wiggly, you're putting too much pressure or your hole is not big enough, so you need to cut it a little bit bigger. So go ahead and work on your lines. I'm going to go ahead and read the comments. I'm not going to talk the whole time. You can also mute me if I get to be annoying. So go ahead and just work on those lines. I'm going to give you guys a minute. And again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Oh, I'm so glad the picture's clear. I love the feedback, so if you have anything to say, please let me know. Your right is runny. Make sure that you hold that tip and massage the bag really, 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 really well, and it should even out. I did this a little bit thicker than I normally would, so it should even out once you massage that. So if you've already cut your bag, just hold that tip closed and massage it really, really well for like a minute, okay? I'm so glad it feels like you're in class. I miss this. I haven't done classes all COVID until last month, and I had some people come in and then we had to shut down. And it's so nice. I wanted to see you guys. I know I can't really see you, but I saw you guys all pick up your kids, and that was so nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. You can continue your lines in a minute after I show you this next step. I'm going to go ahead and do these loops and these waves. So again, tip is on the paper, soft pressure. My icing hits the paper. I lift up as soon as it hits the paper, and I'm just going a little slower, and I'm also looking a little bit ahead of where I want that icing to fall. And remember to breathe. I always tell my students, don't forget to breathe, because I find myself holding my breath often. So then I'm going to release the pressure early, finish the line, put my tip down. If you don't release your pressure early, you're going to get a big bump at the end. So you want to release it a little bit early, because you do lift that tip. So there's extra icing at the end. Again, I'm going to lift my tip, look a little bit ahead of where I want that icing to fall, release the pressure, then I finish the line, and then I put my tip down and then wipe off my tip. I have the music playing in the background, but I didn't want to put it too loud because I don't want Facebook to take off this video for the music. But yeah, I'm listening to it. I don't know if you guys can hear it at all. So go ahead and do some lines, some swirls and waves, and in a minute I'll show you our last step on here. Again, if you're having issues with runny white icing, make sure you just give that bag a very good massage. Again, I like to just hold this tip closed and just really, really massage it. And you're going to be doing that with all of your bags tonight. So if you're done, you can start massaging your other colors. But you don't want to forget to massage them and then go on your cookie, because then you're going to mess your cookie up. So my son set my camera up to where I have two, and I can do some where it's facing me and some where you're facing my cookie. So it's cool that I can say hello and then switch back just like that. So my son's super high tech, and he figured that out all by himself. Thank goodness for him. Oh, good, Cindy. I'm glad it works. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, please don't forget to massage your bags. If you have a second, like a break, just go back and massage your bags. I wasn't sure how this would work because when I do my classes, you guys used to scoop your icing because I didn't want that separation of the icing, but now we can't do that. So I'm not really sure the best way other than to massage the bag because I do have to fill this a couple days early. Thank you. Okay, so if you guys can go ahead and look up one more time, and then I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to finish up your practice sheet. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the circle and the heart. So I start again with my tip on the paper, soft pressure, lift up. Remember, if your icing is going swirly whirly, you might need to cut your hole a little bit bigger. So mine is right on the edge. It could be a touch bigger if I wanted it to. Now I'm going to release the pressure and put my tip down. And then the last thing is the heart, which I really want you guys to pay attention here, is what I want to show you is every edge of my cookie, I put my tip down. So I start here, tip is on the paper, I lift up. You never want to drag your icing, your bag on the paper. Release the pressure, back down. So my tip is totally off. Then I start where I left off and then lift back up. And then release the pressure early, finish the line, tip down. So I'm always releasing or putting pressure, just like that, while I'm holding this tape closed. So go ahead and work on those. Let me know when you're done if you can. That would be great. So when I see the majority of you, I will go ahead and start with the next step. The kit was $35 and it has everything you need to make your cookies that we're doing tonight. 6 cookies. Today has 6 icing bags, like a little toothpick, and some sprinkles. Woo-hoo. Good job, you guys. And just remember, if I'm talking too much, you can totally mute me and just watch. I know it's different online, so I heard my voice earlier today on a test and I was like horrified by it. So these cookies have vanilla bean in them. I also like to roll mine thicker now just so you get a softer bite. But yeah, so I'll be hopefully sharing that recipe very soon with you. I'm still doing some tweaks to it. Good job, you guys. You guys are all pros. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I am so emotional right now because this is so cool seeing you guys talking to me on here. I know I can't see you guys, but I love seeing your guys' comments. The smaller circle is easier. Big one. Just go a little bit slower on the bigger one. Take your time. Hi, Megan. Hi, Tiffany. So I'm going to give you guys 2 more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and start our cookies. We're going to start with our gingerbread man. Isn't he so cute? Aw, thank you, Nicole. It was so good to see you today. The heart is hard. It's just going a little bit slower. Oh, hi, Denise. 6 grandkids with you. Wow. Circles are the hardest. When I first started cookies, I wanted to just practice my circles. So I did like a fundraiser. I was selling baseball cookies for $1 just so I could practice my cookies. And I think I did like 350 of them. And by then I got my circles down. So I would say I have it down now. That one's pretty good. Oh, can you see? But they are a pain in the butt, in the booty. My cookies are rolled at 3/8 of an inch. So I use my Joseph rolling pin, and I use the biggest dial on there. All right, so if you guys can go ahead and take out your gingerbread men very, very carefully and start massaging. Look at this brown. So you see the separation? Let's just have a little chat, comments right now. Let's massage our bags together. I'm like pinching the end, pushing the icing all around so I can get all of that icing mixed up really well. You can be rough with it. You know, like that. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Sometimes I still feel like a newbie when it comes to decorating. Just the brown really, really likes to separate. For some reason, brown and green has always been the colors that separate the most. So definitely give them a good massage. And then while you're watching me do the first part, you can keep massaging your bag. So this is royal icing, and the recipe that I use is on my website, but I'm using pretty much one consistency for this whole night, except the white. The white is a touch thicker, and if you are a beginner, I would highly recommend outlining your cookie with the white, which is what I'm gonna do. But if you've done this for a long time, go ahead and outline with your brown. Just be careful when you're cutting your bag that you don't cut your hole too big. This is warm brown and lemon yellow. And if I added more warm brown and lemon yellow, it'd be just a darker brown gingerbread. Aw, cute, Marcy. It is therapeutic. I don't want to stop massaging it, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and outline my gingerbread in white. For those of you that have never decorated, I would highly recommend it. Make sure your hole is not too big. If it's too big, go ahead and switch out your bag. But I'm going to go ahead and clean off my tip just by wiping it off with my finger. And then I'm going to go ahead and outline. So I'm twisting my bag, holding that tape with my thumb and my pointer finger, holding my wrist. And I start with my tip on the cookie, soft pressure, lift up. And there's little ridges for his like headband, but I'm just gonna skip those. I'm not gonna outline it. I'm just gonna do like an oval here. And then every edge, remember I said put your tip down, okay? And then, so if you guys can just watch this, and then you're gonna have a few minutes to outline both of your gingerbread, okay? So just make sure you're watching, tip back down. So like I said, if you're a beginner, please use the white. And then, so when I was first doing cookies, I would do a thicker consistency to outline, and then that would hold my icing in, and then the flood would be a lot looser, and that outline would help prevent the icing from spilling over. So that's why I like to outline. So go ahead and start outlining your gingerbread. If I haven't called you to look back up, go ahead and start your second gingerbread. If all goes well tonight, I will be posting some January classes, probably tomorrow. I don't know if you guys can see that. So you're just going to outline your gingerbread. I really love Sweet Sugar Bell's Royal Icing recipe. The only time I don't use it is if I'm using Jeannie's meringue powder is what I use now, and that recipe is on the back of her meringue powder. But if you don't have that meringue powder, use Sweet Sugar Bells royal icing recipe. It is the bomb. Oh, I forgot to show you guys what happens if you mess up, what you're gonna do. So I want you guys to also take out your scribe tool. So you have this little pick. I know a lot of you guys have your own custom scribe tool. I have my Mickey one right here, but I'm gonna show you real quick, if you guys can look up for 1 second. If you're doing your line and you mess up like that, it's okay, do not fret. Just take your scribe tool and just swipe it off. Okay, so anything you're not happy with, you can just take your scribe tool or your pick and just wipe off your mess up. So I'm gonna give you guys, if you guys get done, just go ahead and put a little comment that you're caught up. And when I see a couple of you done, we'll go ahead and start the next step. And if I am moving too fast, please let me know, and I will slow it down. These gingerbread were quite something to cut, let me just tell you. He was not easy. So if you're doing a class, if you're teaching a class, I always tell people, be careful the cutters you pick, because if they are difficult to cut, you're gonna be hating life. And he took a long time to cut. I should have thought about it a little bit more, but he is so cute, I had to do him, right? Awesome, guys. Good job. I do want, like, if you guys can, like, just some pictures at the end, or like your progress while you're doing your cookies. I'd love to see some of your pictures in the comments, or your setup. That would be cool. Good job, Marissa. Uh-oh. So you can just glue the leg together, just put some icing in between and then push it together, and he should be good in about 30 minutes or so. He's something else, let me tell you, but he sure is delicious. Awesome. I'm gonna give you guys 1 more minute. And I wanna make sure you guys are done with at least one of your cookies before you move on. Oh, I'm so sorry, Joy. You can glue him back with your icing. If you're waiting right now, go ahead and keep massaging your brown. If you're not able to keep up with one cookie, like I'm moving on to the next step and you haven't finished at least one cookie, just let me know so I can slow down a little bit. I put the icing just on my counter. If it's gonna be longer than a week, then I'll put it in the fridge. These were made on Friday. So you can pop them in the fridge if you're not ready to decorate. Aw, thank you, Alicia. You're so sweet. I have your mug right here. Alicia made me this cookie bomb, which I'm gonna have later. Auntie T's cookies. Hubby is waiting to scoop him up. He wanted that, didn't he? He's like, I hope you don't break them. Yeah, right. Okay, so if I can have you guys look back. So again, make sure you are very well mixed. If you've already cut your brown, I hope you cut your hole big, small enough. But I'm gonna go ahead and just cut a small hole, just a little bit bigger than what we cut our white outline. So I'm gonna cut straight across. And now we're gonna flood our cookie. So again, this is especially important to hold this tight, because even more now we're putting more pressure. That icing, you don't want that to come up the top. So I'm rolling my bag, holding my wrist, and before I told you soft pressure, lift up, right? Well, we're gonna do opposite. We're gonna actually put quite a bit of pressure. See how thick the icing's coming out? Oh, you can't see how thick. There, now you can see. Nice and thick, because I'm putting a lot of pressure. As I'm putting pressure, I'm pushing the icing with the tip of my bag. Let me see if I can change that view a little bit. So as I'm putting pressure, I'm pushing it up against that outline to cover the outline so you can't see it from up top. And I'm jiggling that icing with the tip of my bag. So I'm going to do the head first. So I hope you guys are watching right now, and then you guys are going to go do yours. If the icing's taking too long to come out, cut your hole a little bit bigger. That's okay, especially if you're not outlining with this brown, you can cut it a little bit bigger. If you're just outlining with white, cut it just a touch bigger so the icing comes out quicker. But I like to do a lot of jiggling with the tip of my bag. So as I'm jiggling, I'm putting soft pressure on the bag. So I'm not just pushing it around with no pressure. I actually am still pushing on the bag up against that outline, pushing the icing around. And you may not even need your scribe tool. See how I didn't leave any holes? I didn't leave any holes, but if you have a few, you can take your scribe, push it around. But you should just be able to very gently just jiggle the surface with your scribe and it should settle. If it's not settling, that means you need to add a little bit more pressure on there. So go ahead and start yours. If you're having dips or anything like that, that just means you don't have enough icing in there. So just make sure you're putting enough. Again, if the icing's not coming out quick enough, you're going to want to cut the hole bigger because the icing will start to crust pretty quickly. Hope you guys can see okay. I'm going to look at your comments while you guys are working. They get one try. That's a lot of pressure, Melissa. Oh, my camera was a little off center. Okay. I'm going to do my other guy. So if you guys want to watch again, go ahead and watch. If not, just ignore me. I'm sorry about the camera. Thank you for letting me know. So I'm going to outline. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure you're keeping that tip clean. I'm going to go ahead and flood this guy. So I want you to finish up the cookie that you're on. If you haven't started your second cookie yet, or if you're just about to start it, that's fine. But if you haven't started it yet, go ahead, or in like a minute or two, go ahead and just hold off. At the end, everybody pretty much catches up with each other. I want some of you to send me a picture in the comments of your flooded gingerbread men so I can see how you're doing. So I'm jiggling that icing. My hole could actually be bigger if I wanted it to, but I'm pretty fast. So I don't really need to use my scribe tool. I pretty much use the tip of my bag, but I'm going to go ahead because this one's cute. This is my little Mickey one. Ooh, and I have another scribe tool that's coming to the shop that Alexia is working on. Just think desert theme. It's so cute. Totally my style. I can't wait to share it with you guys. But Alexia is doing the class right now, and she actually makes scribes. And yeah. I have her gummy bear one in my shop right now. All right, yes, let me know when you're done. I'd love to see a picture if you can. That would be awesome, but totally okay if you can't. We're gonna let these dry. I'm just gonna put them aside. And I think we'll start our, let's see. We're going to do our gingerbread house next. So if you are done, just go ahead and get your green and just start massaging that. I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes. Oh, Alexia. We can't. We tried. We can't. I tried. Oh, you tried to take a picture? Maybe it won't let you. No pictures can be inserted. Oh, I did not know that. Good to know, though. Thank you for letting me know. So at the end, maybe you can go back and maybe put some pictures up. When you're making your icing, how do you know what the consistency should be? So with consistency, that is probably the hardest thing to learn in cookie decorating. The way I like to test my consistency is I kind of picture my cookie. Like, I don't want to have to jiggle it too much for it to settle, but I also don't want it to settle too fast. So when I'm making my icing, I put my spoon through it and I kind of just jiggle it with my spoon. And if it's about how I like the consistency of when I flood, which is just a couple jiggles, then it's good. So I do the jiggle test. I don't have an icing video, but I am going to be doing one soon for you guys. So go ahead and massage your green right now if you're waiting. Does anybody have a movie on while you guys are doing this? You guys all focused? Oh, Christmas music's on. Okay, so is everybody massaging their green? Again, green, so I like to just like pinch the tip and then push the icing down, move it all around, shake it up. So keep doing that. Football, keep doing that while I show you this next part. Yeah, I find myself always holding my breath too. So whenever I do it, I think, oh, I better tell everybody to not do that. Okay. All right, so if you guys can stop where you're at, we're gonna go ahead and do the next step. This video will be on my page later, so if you wanna just do one cookie of each right now and then take your time on the other ones, you can. I'm gonna go ahead and outline again with my white, but feel free, if you're a pro, you can do your green and your brown. But I'm going to go ahead and outline with my white. So here we go. You guys can see okay. So do you see these two ridges right here? That's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to kind of just make a little dot here. That's where I want my triangle to be. So my tip is on the cookie, soft pressure, lift up. Oh no, I messed up. Did you guys believe that? So if you messed up again, I just want to show you, use that scribe tool that's in there so that you are happy with your line, okay? It's okay, you can wipe it off. So tips on the paper, and then I'm just gonna go at a point right here, and then I'm gonna go right here as well to a point, and then I'm gonna finish this off right here, lift up, go straight across, tip down, lift up, and then back down. So I have this full-on, is that like a diamond shape? I'm not sure, but I can do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and outline the roof. So tip down, lift up. I hope you guys are watching. I don't want you guys to miss anything. So just watch for a minute, and then you guys can go ahead and do yours. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So I'm lifting up, and I messed up right there, so I'm just going to take my scribe, wipe that off. Okay, and then I'm going to start. I like to start back at the bottom because it has this guide for me. There's just one spot on the roof that's not guided. And I'm looking right here, and I'm just going to kind of mimic that side. Okay, and then I'm going to outline the roof. And this roof has like a little bit of snow like that. So just doesn't have to be perfect. And then the last part that you're going to outline, I hope you guys, what should we do if we run out? Are you guys close to running? You shouldn't be running out yet. So, I mean, I think I put extra in everybody's icing. You can just use different colors if you're having any issues of running out, but you should have enough of each. Thank you, Alexia. So this is what I have so far here. So you guys can go ahead and get started. I'm just going to hold this up for you guys to look at. You shouldn't run out. I really hope you don't run out. If you do, please let me know. But I did a little bit of extra for everybody, so you guys can eat some while you're decorating. Can you guys see this house okay? The lines on here, and just remember, use that scribe tool if you're not happy with your lines. So just start with one right now, or actually go ahead and start your second if you're done, and then let me know when you're done. Thank you, Melissa. My son even put my studio logo on this live stream. How cool is that? I don't even know if you can see it, but it's that little black dot at the bottom. Figured out how to do that. That is crazy. I personally like to outline all in white. That way I don't have to worry about having too many consistencies. Just easier for me. So when you're all done outlining both, just go ahead and let me know. Don't worry if you didn't finish both when I move on to the next step. You can go back to that in a little bit. He is 14 years old. And then my other son just had his 13th birthday on Saturday, which is why I did pickups on Sunday and I had to do all my prep Friday. It was craziness, but I wanted to make sure he had that full day. We went to Newport, rented a Duffy. It was so much fun. You're right, Megan. And I use clear vanilla in my royal icing because I like my white to stay very white. So I find that the clear vanilla just keeps my icing white. And then I do add a little bit of corn syrup, which helps with, sometimes colors will get a little yellowy too. I feel like the corn syrup helps with that. Thank you, Barbara. Yes, I did want to do that. I'm trying to come up with something to do for that. That is definitely something we are going to do. So look out for that, Barbara. But I totally forgot to do that. And I just realized that today that you guys don't have a picture. So thank you, Barbara. Next time I will for sure do that. I'm so sorry about that. But yes, that would be for sure helpful for you guys. So just a few more dones on here and I'll go ahead and show you guys the next step. You're the best, Barbara. Done with both, yay. Lindsay, how's your son doing on these? He doing good? Did you get Hubs to help? Oh, cool, Alexia. Awesome. Okay, one more minute and we will move on to our next one. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate the communication. Otherwise, it would feel like I'm just talking to myself. Yay! Great, Lindsay. That's so good to hear. So I would like you guys to finish where you're at and then go ahead and look back at the screen. I'm going to set this guy down. I wonder if I can move this a little closer. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a little closer, right? I had that so high up. Awesome, guys. Okay, so if you're all done, actually, we're just going to go ahead and clean off our brown tip, but I want you to pinch the tip and massage again. Be sure you're pinching it so that the icing doesn't come out the end. So if you're all done, go ahead, pinch the tip, and then massage the bag. I'm definitely looking into doing some kids classes online, so stay tuned for that, Michelle, or I don't know if that's Sharon. Is that Sharon? Michelle? I am going to be doing kids classes either online or just coming in and picking up a kit, but that would be really fun to do some instructions for them. Oh, thank you, Sarah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start flooding my gingerbread house. So if you guys can just watch this part and then you can go for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Again, my tip is pretty much on the cookie. I'm putting pressure, pushing that icing onto the outline that I made. Quite a bit of pressure. I think next time I'm going to put the camera on the other side. I'm going to see if I can switch that around when you guys are working on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this in. Tip is close to the cookie, quite a bit of pressure. Okay. And then I'm going to take my scribe and just sort of jiggle the surface. I am not touching my cookie. I'm just jiggling the surface of that icing, and it should just settle. Just tap, tap, tap. And then I want to make sure I'm cleaning off my scribe as well, because if you're not cleaning off that scribe and you have a bunch of icing on there, you're never going to be able to smooth out that icing. So I'm also going to go ahead and fill in right here as well. Again, soft pressure. While I'm putting pressure on the bag, I'm pushing up against that outline that I made. So that one's done. Take my scribe, jiggle that a little bit. And then I'm also going to go ahead and cut my green. Make sure you've massaged this. Also, guys, if you want to cut off extra off the top of your bag, you can. That might be helpful. But just do it over, not over your cookies. You don't want to get any crumbs on your cookies. So make sure that green is nice and massaged. Cut a small hole. If you're going to outline your tree in green, cut a tiny hole like you would for outlining. And then I'm going to go ahead and just also fill in my door. I'm going to wait to fill in the snow until my icing sets up a bit. We're going to do a border on this door, so it's okay if it's not perfect. We're going to cover the edges around with the border. So that's why I'm flooding it right now and not waiting for it to dry like I am for the roof. So I'm just pushing that icing in where I want it to go, jiggling it, and then there you go. So go ahead and start. So this is the green. I don't know if it's hard to see on here. The green is the door, and then the brown. Make sure you're massaging your bags. I'm going to check out the comments if you guys want to go ahead and get started on that. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm still on there, right, guys? You guys can still see? Because I accidentally clicked Alexia's profile wanting to like a comment, and it took me to her page. I hope it didn't like take me off. So if you see me still on here, please let me know. Oh, good. Thank you, Sheila. Thanks, Melissa. I think I want to like all your guys' comments, but when I like them, and it moves to your profile. So I'm going to hold off till later on that. I hope you guys are all relaxed. I feel so relaxed right now. It's so weird being in my empty studio talking to you guys. I wasn't browsing, Chaz. I was trying to like a comment. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rosario. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, I'm going to be quiet for a few more minutes while you guys are working on that. Don't forget to massage those bags. This is my very first virtual class, so you guys are going to have to let me know how it goes at the end if you want me to do more. I'm glad you're having fun, Melissa. Okay, so when you guys are done, I would say, yeah, when some of you have finished your second one, go ahead and let me know, your second one. I don't think all of you guys are going to finish both before I show you the next step, but once you're done, when some of you are done with both of them, I imagine other people would be done with at least one. So I'll show you the next step for those of you that are ahead. Oh, girls' night! Whoop whoop! I should open some wine here, but I have to drive home after, so. Job, you guys. So proud of you. I hope the icing's okay for you. Just definitely massage. That was the biggest thing I was nervous about, was that icing. Good job, you guys. Okay, one more minute. Finish where you're at. I'm going to show you the next step. If you're feeling overwhelmed, please let me know and I'll slow it down. We're going to let the gingerbread house just dry for a bit before we add our white. That'll be our next step. After the tree, we'll go back to our gingerbread house. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad this is working out. You have no idea. Okay, so go ahead and look back up. I'm going to show you the next step. If you haven't finished your houses, go back to that after I show you this next part. This might be the hardest part, is the star, this darn star. But good thing we have our scribe tool. Okay. Hey girl, so you can look back once I'm done with the class, so if you missed anything, definitely go back to it. Oh, thank you, Joy. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna outline this all in white again. If you're a pro and you wanna do a green tree, you can. but for beginners, I'd like you to try to do it in white. So I'm going to go ahead and outline the star. So my tip is on the cookie. Here I'm not lifting up very much, but this star has kind of curved points. I'm putting my tip down at every edge or corner. Okay, so this part's the hard part, this bottom part. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my best. I'm curving this. Okay, I curve the center of these legs. And that didn't turn out too bad. So the important part is just curving this middle part. And then I'm going to go ahead and outline the tree. Tip is down, lift up, back down, lift up, back down, and then I'll also outline the tree stump. So go ahead and work on yours. Once some of you are done, just let me know and I'll show you guys the next part. I'm going to show you guys this up a little closer. When you're moving your cookies around, just be careful because they are, you don't want to put your finger in this icing, otherwise you're going to mess your cookie up. So when if you're not happy with your star, just keep swiping it off till you get that outline right. But that was probably the hardest part of this whole set, was that darn star. But everybody's going to be unique and beautiful, so. I wish you guys could hear my music. Got Train on right now. So make sure when you are using that white that you are cleaning off that tip as you go. The whole time you're going to want to clean off that tip because any crusties on there will just make everything harder. So we want to make things as easy as we can. Keep that tip clean. It's almost been an hour. You guys, now you guys know why cookies cost so much when you buy them decorated, because it's been an hour and we haven't even done 3 cookies yet. It's crazy. The star is so crazy. Patrick from SpongeBob. Yeah, it'll look better when we flood the star, but just do your best. Try to get that curve middle. That's where I found was what I was struggling with, was that curve middle right there. Yay, Lauren! And remember, if you cut your hole too big on any of these, you have those extra bags in there, what you're going to do is just cut a bigger hole in the end and squirt it in the new bag. And just tie a knot in the top of the bag, and you just have a fresh new bag. So definitely use that if you need to. So when you're done outlining your trees, just let me know. And when I see a few of you have done it, we'll start our next step. couple of you are done. Good job, you guys. I am so glad, Michelle, you guys are having a good time. Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, so finish what you're on, and then I'm going to have you look back up. We're going to go ahead and flood our tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off the tip of my bag. I'm going to hold that tip. I'm going to give it another massage. So while you guys are watching me, go ahead and give your green a bit of a massage. And now I'm going to go ahead and flood my tree. So my tip again is close to the cookie, quite a bit of pressure. Green's a little thick. Okay, so this one's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to show you guys how to smooth that out. So you're going to take your scribe and you're just going to push that icing around first. Make sure you have enough in there. You can definitely cut your hole bigger on this. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to stab my cookie, give it a shake, a gentle shake, and just jiggle the surface. I'm holding my scribe like a pencil and just going very quickly back and forth on top of this icing. So this is a little bit thicker than I would have wanted, so I apologize for that. But that's what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead and just hold your scribe like a pencil and just jiggle that icing until it smooths over. So if you can keep watching just for one more second, I'm going to show you what to do once that's all smoothed out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my little nonpareil sprinkles. So that's these little white ones that came in your kit. Take the lid off, and while the icing is still wet, I'm just going to sprinkle that on there. Okay, so go ahead. You can also like pick up your cookie carefully from like the whitest part, and because these are so thick, you have a big spot, big space to like hold it, but you can just go back and forth, back and forth. If you put enough icing in there, the icing should settle. So if you guys can see that. But right after you flood your tree, add the sprinkles and then start your second tree. Don't let this, don't flood it green, move on to your next one and then add the sprinkles to both. You really want to flood this and then sprinkle it right away. Sharon, I haven't seen you in forever. Did you, I don't think you got your cookies. You can pick them up tomorrow and watch us again. I'm pretty sure you were on my list. So I have your cookies, so come tomorrow or anytime this week other than Christmas Day. But I'll be here 10 to 1. You can come get your cookies. So isn't that pretty? I just love this green. It's mint green. So go ahead and start your tree. Please let me know when you guys are done. Sprinkles do make everything better. I wanted to get like such cute Christmas sprinkles, but of course I was behind on everything. But next year, I promise, I'm going to have the cutest Christmas sprinkles for our gingerbread houses. So just you wait. So one of the reasons why I did so many colors is because I didn't have Christmas sprinkles and I wanted sprinkles on the roof. So we're adding sprinkles with our icing instead of actual sprinkles other than the snowflakes. But had I been organized, we would have had very cute sprinkles and less colors probably. So once I see a few of you say done, I will show you the next step. Remember, flood that cookie and then you can pick it up carefully and jiggle it, shake it back and forth once you've done all the scribe stuff. But that should settle the icing. A couple of you are done. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Couple more. So go ahead and finish where you're at. If you're not done, finish where you're at, finish smoothing that icing out, and then I'll show you the next step. Good job, Megan. Okay, so we're gonna move our tree out of the way. We're gonna let this green crust just for a few minutes. We're gonna move on to our roof because I want the roof to dry a little bit before we add our icing sprinkles. So now that we're done outlining, you don't have to empty the bag. Oh, Patty, that is so smart. I'd never thought to do that. Alrighty, so I'm gonna actually cut my hole a little bigger since I'm done outlining. If you are not done outlining, don't cut your white hole bigger yet. Use Patty's suggestion. You can actually cut a smaller hole in another bag and just put the other bag in that bag. Anyway, definitely look at that comment. But I'm going to go ahead. This is a thicker icing. Oh, you know what? You guys are going to want to hold on to the other bag. Or maybe don't cut yours bigger because I forgot we're going to need that detail for our gingerbread. So if you do cut your hole bigger right now, just make sure you have that other bag where you can transfer the white so you can do a smaller detail. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna get my other bag. So I'm just going right up against my outline for the white. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just right up against that brown, filling that up. So if you haven't cut your white yet, don't cut it any bigger. Go ahead and flood with that small tip, or you can switch out your bag at the end when we do our details like I'm going to do. So I'm just jiggling that icing, just the surface. My scribe is not going all the way in there. And then I'm going to also do my roof, and then I'm going to add my snowflake sprinkles just randomly on here. I kind of go on top of the brown at some points just so it looks more snowy. So realistic, you guys, these cookies. Okay, so I'm taking my snowflakes. I have a lot more than you guys have. This is my stash. So I'm just gonna drop them randomly. You wanna do this, be careful to not put your finger in there. But you can always put a sprinkle on top of anything you mess up. I'm just dropping them in gently, just random spots. I don't really have any particular place that I like them, but I do like to put maybe a couple here on the chimney. That's fine. There's snow on the chimney. So go ahead and work on that. Remember, if you cut your hole bigger to flood this white, it's totally okay. Just use that extra bag at the end when we do our details. So go ahead and work on that, and I will, when you're done, just let me know. And I should hopefully, if this goes well, please let me know. If it doesn't go well, you can either comment or you can send me an email if you want to keep it private. Totally cool. But I love feedback. But I hope to have some more classes in January if this one goes okay. I don't know if you guys can see on there, but I have the snowflakes. I added those on the white. So make sure you do that while the icing is still wet. You're so fast, Alexia. It's like you do this or something as a job. Is there icing on my camera? Is there like a dot? No, that's my computer. Never mind. I think. No. There might be icing on my camera. I don't know if there's a dot, if you guys can see it on my house, on the door. But that'd be my camera. I cannot believe so many of you guys signed up for class. I am seriously was just so shocked that all of you guys wanted to join me. I wish I could have done more. Oh, good. Thank you, Alexia. Cool. Okay, it's just my computer then. Don't forget to add those snowflakes. It's got to look like there's real snow there, people. Oh, thank you guys. Thanks, Sheila. All right. 2 more minutes. Finish what you're on, and then I'm going to have you look up again. Aren't the snowflakes so cute, Stephanie? I love them. Let's see. If you are waiting, you can go ahead and take your red. Ooh, look at that. Definitely. Let's massage this red. So if you are done, massage your red really, really well. Make sure you're looking that there's no dark spots. So if you're waiting, go ahead and just massage that red icing. Oh, thank you so much. Isa, is that your name? Thank you, Tiffany. You guys are awesome. Farida, it was so nice to meet you today when you picked your kid up. So massage your red. That's what, if you are all done, I'm going to give you guys another minute. Please massage your red icing. One more minute and I'm going to have you guys look back up. The red really did separate a lot, so just really, really give that a massage. And when we're cutting our red, we want a small hole like we outlined. Even smaller than you think. And I'll show you in a second. I don't want you guys to cut it until I'm done showing you this next part. Okay, so go ahead and look up. I'm going to show you this next step real quick. It's only going to take a minute, and then you can go back to where you were at. I'm going to also just give my brown just a little massage again, holding that end closed. But I'm going to go ahead and add my tree stump. Okay, pushing that icing up against the outline. You can even push it on top if you're confident with that. Icing's thick enough to where it's not going to spill over unless you add way, way, way too much. Okay. Then I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to do my star. So when you're cutting your star bag, because we're using this red for detail, we want a small hole just like in the outline. So I'm going to, again, center that seam, hold it up toward the ceiling, push icing all the way to the end of the tip, and cut straight across a small hole. And before I go on my cookie, I always want to test it out on my paper towel. So that's a good size, so I'm happy with that. I don't need to cut it anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in my star. So remember, when you're cutting your red, please be mindful, cut it smaller than you think, test it out on the paper first before you do it on your cookie, just to make sure you have a nice small hole. We don't need a big hole to flood this because it's a small area. Plus we're using this red for our details. All right, mine kind of looks like the SpongeBob Patrick too. Twinsies. Okay. So I'm going to say this again in case you were talking to your friends or family. Make sure you cut your red very small. Be sure to massage it before you open it. Massage it really, really well. A tiny hole because we're using this for our details. Make sure you massage your brown before you flood your stump. So you guys can go ahead and work on that. I can't put you guys in timeout for big holes when you're virtually here, so I'm just gonna trust you. Miranda, the kits are $35. And they come with everything you need other than scissors and paper towel. But I should probably, I'll just include a paper towel next time. I forgot to do that. I hope to have January classes. I really wanted to see how this class went before I committed to any other virtual classes. So as long as I have good feedback, I'll be posting January classes maybe even tomorrow or Wednesday. So what you'll do is you'll just have an assigned day where you pick up your kit and then we have a live class together. And I like to do the live. I definitely want to one day record, like pre-record these classes, but I do like interaction with other people. So the live classes for me was the way to go for right now. So I hope you guys enjoy them. Please let me know later. When you're done with your stars and tree stump, just let me know. Sarah, I'm so glad you're having a good time. Your husband was so nice to pick up the kit for you. I do want to see you though sometime. When you come in and shop, let me know next time you come in so I can make sure I'm here. Oh, thank you, Annie. Oh, I'm so glad Kendall's having fun. What are you guys doing? You guys doing okay? I hope you guys are relaxed and not stressed out. I am so glad that you feel like you're in my studio. That is exactly what I want to hear. Except you're in your PJs and I don't have shoes. So that would be cool to have a PJ night one day in the studio. That would be really fun. Awesome. Good job, you guys. Doing great. He just gave you the look, Sarah. I'm going to do laughy face. Stephanie, I'm so glad you're having fun. Okay, so I want you guys to go ahead and finish up. I'm going to give you another 2 minutes. And we will start our next. You guys like this shirt? It says cookies. I got it from the Sweet Design Shop. It's my new favorite cookie shirt. I am so glad you're having fun, Nicole. I definitely want to know how the beginners are doing. Mine does not look very good. Oh, your star. Yeah, the star is like the hardest part of the set. So just so you know, I've been decorating for almost 8 years and that was hard for me. So if it looks almost like a star, you did awesome. Wookie. Oh, awesome, Colleen. All right, I'm gonna have you guys look up again. And we are gonna go ahead and move on. I'm letting my little gingerbread man dry the most because he has quite a bit of detail on him and I want him the most dry. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our little border to our door. So we're gonna use 3 colors. Again, always kind of give your bag a massage before you start. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm cleaning my tip off with my paper towel. I'm going to do some little dots around the door. So what I'm doing is I'm holding my tip close to the cookie, applying pressure, building that dot, releasing the pressure, and then lifting up. So tip is close to the cookie, pressure is pretty much on the cookie. Release the pressure, lift up. I'm leaving a space in between for my pink and my white. So tip is close to the cookie, pressure, release pressure, then lift up. You don't want any points. So I'm going to go around here. If you're holding your tip high while you're doing the dot, you're not going to get a nice round dot. So again, my tip is close to the cookie, pressure, pressure, building that dot, releasing the pressure, and then lifting up. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. And I'll just go ahead and add, I'm going to wait to do the sprinkles on the roof actually because it's a little too wet still. I'm going to go ahead and have you guys do that. And then by the time you're done with that, I'm going to do the next color. So go ahead and start with some dots, making sure to massage that bag and test out that icing on your paper towel first before you go on your cookie. When I'm doing these cookies for an order or something, I will put them in front of a fan or dehydrator to crust quicker so I can move quickly through the cookies. But they take at least, over here in California, about 18 to 24 hours to completely dry to where you can package them in like a cello bag. So when I was doing cookies, I would often do them at night. And then by the next afternoon, I could package them. So they do take a while to dry. They may look dry in an hour or two, but underneath they're super, super wet still. So if you package them, you might think you're okay, and then the next day you look at them and they're all completely messed up and stuck to the cello bag. So you definitely want to make sure these are completely dry before you package them. So it takes about 18 hours or so. If you want, you can practice your little dots on your paper towel. If you're having a hard time with it, let me know if you have any questions on that dot. But again, keeping your tip close to the cookie is very helpful to get a nice round piece of icing on there. And I am actually going to switch out my white icing, put it in a new bag. So I'm going to show you real quick how I do that. Okay, so I have my new bags, got a cute little new design on them. I was kind of like not digging my logo on the bag anymore, like who wants to see Wonderfully Delicious on there? So I decided to go ahead and just do some cute hearts. So I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze because I want a smaller dot for my white. I'm done with flooding. So I'm just going to transfer that. And I like how the heart is clear so you can see the icing color. So yeah, it's fun times. So I just switched that out. You guys can go ahead and do that with your extra bag if you still have one. All right, I'm going to have you guys look up again for just 1 second. I'm going to cut a small hole. Again, I'm always centering that seam, pushing the icing all the way down to the tip, cutting straight across, even smaller hole than I think. Oops. And then I just test out on here. That's a good line for me. So I'm going to go ahead and add my white dots right next to the red. Again, tip is on the cookie, pressure, release. Pressure, tip is on the cookie, release, pressure, building that dot, releasing when I'm happy with the size. So once you get the dots down, you can really go pretty quick with them. And then I'm going to go ahead and start massaging my pink. So when you guys are done with your white dots, take your pink and give that a massage. If you have crusties on there, just kind of tap them off on your table, not over your cookies. But I'm going to go ahead and just give that a massage while you guys finish up those other dots. Hey, Ashlyn. I hope you're having fun. I cannot wait to see your cookies when you're done. So we're working on our little dots around our door. If you're done with that, please give your pink a very nice massage. Your pink will appreciate it. When you're done, just let me know. When you're done with your red and your white dots, just give me a shout out so I know, and I'll show you the next step. Go Sheila. Good job, Lauren. I hope you guys are not feeling rushed, because remember, you're at home. You can take as long as you want on these cookies. You can re-watch this afterwards, so please do not feel rushed. If you want to just do one cookie of each, just so you're not rushed, that is a good idea too. You have all night to do these. Awesome. So while I'm showing you these next few steps, I want you guys to look up and massage your pink bag while you're watching. I'm going to just show you a couple more things. So if you can stop where you're at and then look up, be sure to massage that pink bag, centering the tip straight across. And then again, I'm always testing out my icing, because sometimes you might get a big blob at first. So that's good. And now I'm going to add my pink dots. So just wherever there's a spot, I can just even go over my other dots a little bit with the pink. Probably hard to tell the color difference on the camera. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more things, so if you can watch just for one more minute, we're going to finish our house. So I massaged my green a little bit. I'm going to add a little door handle. So just like we did the other dots, I'm just adding a little handle right here. And then I'm going to take my green, making sure to clean it off. I'm going to add little sprinkles, fake sprinkles on here. So my tip is on the cookie, which you can't see. Let's see. Here, I'll go like this. My tip is on the cookie. I lift up just a little bit and go and release the pressure back down, just like we practiced our lines. But I'm just going to go ahead and add those just randomly on my roof, very gently, because the roof is still pretty wet. A couple more things I want to show you. I'm going to add pink lines as well, and you can even like curve them a little bit so they look like a different type of sprinkle. I want to add some here on the top of the chimney as well. Oh, this is so cute. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, and the last thing, I'm going to add one green one up here also. You don't have to copy mine exactly. Just be free with it. I'm going to go ahead and massage my red again, just because that one is kind of loose. And I'm going to do dots right on the roof as like my round sprinkles. So just soft pressure. Holding my tip close to the cookie. Adding that. And then one more thing I want to show you on here is our little gum, or it's our little peppermint, our peppermint. So I want to make sure you guys are watching. We're going to go ahead and add a big dot here. So if your hole is small, just go ahead and just hold that tip close to the cookie, and your tip is pretty much in that white icing. I'm applying pressure, just building a dot as big as I would like. I'm just building it, still applying pressure, and I'm just sort of moving my icing tip in that dot. And if you guys want to practice this on your paper towel before you do it on your cookie, but while it's wet, I want to do some dots here, like a star. So like picture what a star would be, where the points would be. That's where I'm going to add these dots while the icing is wet. This is called the wet on wet technique. So it's going to look like one layer. So I'm taking my scribe and I have it drag it in that white icing very gently. I'm not going very deep in there, but I kind of curve it. So my scribe is in the center of that dot, and then I'm just curving it, bringing it into the center. If your dots aren't big enough, you're not going to be able to drag enough icing to the center. So make sure it's in there. Definitely practice on your paper towel if you want to before you do this peppermint. And in between each swipe, I'm actually wiping off my scribe tool just to get it real nice and clean. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, can't even, you guys. Okay, so go ahead and finish up at least one gingerbread house, and then we'll move on to finish our tree. But how cute is that? If you guys have any questions on that peppermint, please let me know. It's just that one big white dot, and then you add the red dots right in that white icing while it's wet, kind of like where the points of a star, and then you're going to drag those, curve them to the center of that dot. Okay, so I want to see you guys go ahead and start doing that. Let me know when you are done. Hey, Yadi. Oh, good, Jody. I'm glad you're not feeling rushed. Thank you, Sharon. It took me a while to figure out how to do this peppermint. Some people were using like a little rounded end, which would have been really cool, but I couldn't get that for all the kits. So this is what I came up with. I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments. Let's see. Looks like we're caught up. So just let me know when you're done. Thank you, Isa. So this is super red. Take your time. Remember, you have all the time after class to finish that up. So please do not feel rushed. Is anybody struggling with their peppermint at all? Please, please, please let me know so I can give you some tips. I hope you guys are able to do them. Remember, practice on your paper towel or paper first if you're struggling at all. If you do little gingerbread houses at home, you can totally just use a peppermint candy. That'd be cute too. Are you struggling, Melissa? I can show you guys again if anybody needs to see it. I'm going to go ahead and just do one right here on the paper. If you guys want to watch, go ahead and watch, but I'm going to go ahead and do. So if you want to build a dot, I'm just applying pressure. I'm leaving my tip close to the cookie, applying pressure, kind of going in a circular motion, building that dot, okay, until I get it the size that I want. And then I'm going to take my red. There's the center of the star, kind of doing a bit of a big dot, picturing a star for where I want to put these points, these dots. And then taking my scribe tool, and then in the center of that dot, I'm just dragging that icing. I'm barely going into that icing. I'm just kind of on the surface, barely going in, curving it as I go, wiping off my scribe tool, keeping that nice and clean, and then just drag them in. Okay, I hope that helped. Let me know if you're having any issues. I'm going to wipe this one off. Let me know when you guys are done. Can you guys tell me how your peppermints are turning out? Just say good or bad. I want to see how many of you guys are struggling with this peppermint and how many of you guys have had success. So let me know. So good or bad. Good job, you guys. Your gingerbread house is done. You can add more sprinkles on it if you want, or little candy canes next to the door. Feel free to be totally creative. Acceptable. I love that answer. Oh no, your hand destroyed the door. Oh, you might be able to do the swipe off the door and do it again. Good job, you guys. So that technique is kind of like not quite a beginner technique, but it's fun to learn. Good job, you guys. All right, I'm gonna have you guys look up again. Gingerbread house is done. So cute, right? I love it. Okay, now we're gonna finish up our tree. So just like before, I'm gonna add sprinkles, just like we did with the roof. This time it's gonna have pink dots, but feel free to do red, whatever you wanna do. So you can either keep watching or you can keep working on your cookies, but I'm just gonna go ahead, just like we did the roof. Tip is close to the cookie, pressure, 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 building that dot until it's the size that I want, okay? Then I'm gonna add some red. So I'm clean. Make sure your tip is clean as you're doing this. I'm going to curve my red sprinkles a little bit. And feel free to be creative however you want to do it. And then I'm also going to add some green ones. And I love how those white sprinkles sort of pop. If you've been following my cookies, you know that I love nonpareils, white nonpareils. I just love how simple they are, and they just add just so much more cuteness to the cookie. So I'm just adding some green sprinkles, but feel free to do whatever you want. You can add white ones, but go ahead and work on that. You're funny, Megan. I'm sure they look awesome. Good job, Kendall. Good job on your peppermint. I cannot wait to see your guys' cookies after this. And I really love that you guys are talking to me on here. It makes me feel not alone. I'm reading your guys' comments right now. So I ordered these cookie cutters, you know, like the Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse gingerbread cutters that they sell at Disneyland. I ordered some of those because I really, really, really wanted to just make them and for you guys to sell because they're so adorable. And my cutters are still not here. Everything's getting lost in the mail lately. But would anybody be interested in buying those after Christmas? Because I definitely still want to make them. And I was going to use Kirky Cookies hazelnut sugar cookie recipe, and I thought they would be so good. I'm not like a huge gingerbread cookie kind of person, but her hazelnut is just kind of the same kind of feel, like, but better because it's so delicious. So I will hopefully have those if anybody wants them, because I just really want to decorate them. Cool, awesome. And I hope to have cookies available for you guys to come in and purchase now that I'm at the shop more and my head's kind of more together. This whole COVID thing is just crazy, huh? So I'm finally back in the groove of working, so I'm very happy about that. Hi, Erin. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes and then we're going to finish our cookies. We have one more cookie to do, our gingerbread. So I want you guys to, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to catch up and then we'll finish our gingerbread man. Yeah, those gingerbread Mickey and Minnie are so stinking cute. And I have been dying to make them. So be on the lookout for those. And we will have more cocoa bombs. We're hoping to do some New Year's Eve ones. I just got a bunch of really cool gold sprinkles that I'm thinking of putting in the bomb so that when the bomb explodes, you have like these gold stars. That is my thought. I'm going to test it out soon, so I'll let you know how that goes. But I really hope to have some of those available. Erin, I bet you are missing Disneyland big time, just like me. And Lindsay works there. Lucky girl. I always tell people my dream job, once I retire, it's going to be a candy apple girl at Disneyland, working there and just dipping candy apples in front of the window. So I think that'd be so fun. I love watching it, and I would be fun in the window. I would say hi to people. It's Erin's birthday today. Happy birthday, Erin. So fun. So one of my dream jobs is Disneyland, and then my other one is In-N-Out. That would be cool. I wish I had worked at In-N-Out when I was younger and appreciated how like amazing their work ethic is. And I would have loved to work there. So maybe one day I will work there as well. Really missing, yeah, I know you guys are missing the glitter, and I actually have edible glitter now that we used last month in our class. So I just need to try to figure out a way for you guys to get a handle on this glitter, but we do have it available. If you ever take a class and you want to add anything, like any supplies to your class, you can add it to your cart, and I'll just give it to you when you come pick up your kit. Hey, Lauren. I don't think I said hi to you yet. How are you guys doing so far? You guys, let me know when you're done with the sprinkles. Yeah, like if you have extra supplies too at home, feel free to bring them out. Like if you have a marker and you want to pre-draw anything on your cookie, you can definitely do that. Like an edible marker, if you have the edible glitter, just make those cookies sparkle. Yeah. Oh, very cool. I miss you guys. I miss Avalon. Oh, awesome, Sharon. I won't have cocoa bombs by Christmas Eve because just this COVID, it's like knocking out people to, so one of my employees, her family got it, unfortunately, and, you know, that was a lot of the help that was going to do the kits when I was doing cocoa bombs. And so with her not being there, I haven't been able to do cocoa bombs, but we do plan on hopefully having them for New Year's. So we will get on that. I have a feeling cocoa bombs are going to be around for a little while. So we're hoping to just be able to offer them on a regular basis. Mini marshmallows would be so cute on the chimney. I actually just got teeny tiny like micro mini marshmallows today. That would have been so cute. Hi, Keely. But I feel like every business is just struggling with I think COVID's so rampant right now. So I hope everyone is being safe and staying well and healthy. Okay. I'm going to have you guys look up, and I'm going to show you the gingerbread man or woman. You can make it a girl or a boy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, if I can have you guys look up, we're going to go ahead and finish our gingerbread man. So our house is done, so adorable. Our tree is done. I just love it. Even my little star. And now we're gonna work on little gingerbread. So now that he's had time, a little bit of time to crust, I'm going to start with the headband. So remember, if you cut your hole too big on your white, go ahead and just put it in a new bag like I did. I'm gonna clean my tip and just test out. I'm gonna cut it just a touch wider. It's a little bit too small. Test it out again. Better safe than sorry, right? So here we go. I'm going to add the little headband. So my tip is on the cookie. There's that little notch there. And you guys practice your waves. That's kind of like my guide where to start. You practice your waves, so you guys should be able to do this by now. But it can be kind of goofy. I'm going to add a red one as well, testing out on my paper first, cleaning that tip, and just sort of following the lines that I made. And then I'm going to also add them to the sleeves. I'm not lifting up too high here. You could do some practice little lines on your paper towel first if you want. Adding these guys in. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little heart button. So the way that I do that, first I'm going to definitely massage this green again. Test it out on here. And so remember how you guys did those little dots? You're going to kind of mimic that. So my tip is close to the cookie, pressure, pressure, pressure. But now I'm dragging down as I'm applying soft pressure. So it's pressure, making a dot, soft pressure, dragging down. Pressure, 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 making my dot, soft pressure, drag down, pressure, drag down. Okay, and the very last part is the eyes and the nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the nose. The nose is in the center, and red or pink would look really cute, but I'm going to do a pink one. So my tip is close. I'm just building a little oval or dot, and then I'm going to take my black. I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to go ahead and massage my black just for a minute here. You guys can massage your black while you're watching this. That would speed things up on your end a little bit. Okay, so again, centering that tip, I'm going to do a small hole just like when we were outlining. Test this out, and it's coming out very fast, so I didn't mix it up enough. So make sure you mix that up really, really well. But I'm going to make sure that tip is clean. I'm going to add a little smiley face. So if you think you massaged your black enough, keep massaging your black. You need a little bit more. And then lastly, I'm just going to add the eyes. So just like we did the dots, pressure, 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 building the dot the size that I want. Pressure, pressure, pressure. You want to point your bag straight up and down. And then I'm going to add my white right now, like little white dots. So I'm cleaning off my tip, holding my tip close to that black, pressure, release, pressure, release, pressure, release. Just 3 little dots, holding that tip pretty much on that black icing. So make sure you really, really, really massage that black before you add, and just make sure it's coming out okay on your paper towel before you go on your cookie. But there's a little guy. Say hi. Hello. He's so cute. So I'm going to have you guys work on that. That is our last cookie. Just let me know when you're done with all your cookies so I can say goodbye. And if you guys have any questions, I'm going to stay on here until everybody's, probably until everybody's gone. Remember to put the white in a fresh bag. Yes, if you cut your hole bigger for that roof, you definitely want to put that white in a new bag and cut a small hole like we did to outline. hope you guys can see all my cookies okay. I'm just going to take a look on my app to see how it looks, but hope you guys can see all those cookies. And how many of you guys have a mess on your table now? So really, really, really massage that bag. Okay, it looks like you guys can see those little white dots there. Honestly, Alicia, your icing will be fine on the counter, but it doesn't hurt to put it in the fridge. You can go ahead and do that. I would put it in the fridge just to like stop the separation a little bit. It's still going to separate in the fridge, but yeah, I would throw those in the fridge. I'm so glad you had fun. Yeah, Alicia, it does definitely take practice. I'm so glad you had a good time. Good job, Lorena. I hope you guys, if you can, take the time to just comment your cookies on here when I sign off. That would be totally awesome. Totally, so I can see what you guys did. Ooh, I'm gonna check Kristen, sorry. Thank you so much for watching, Jane. Make sure you guys say bye before you go. Thank you so much, Lauren, for coming. Thank you, Nicole. It was so good to see you today. It's been forever. Man, I wish we could see pictures right now, like on this. It's good to know that they can't add them. Bye, Elizabeth. Thank you. I'm going to say bye to some of you guys right now. You can mute me. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for coming to class. I hope you liked it. Please let me know if you didn't. Or if you did. That would be cool. I'm going to go back on the cookies. So glad you guys had fun. Question on making frosting. You can definitely, Joanne, you can definitely overmix the frosting or the icing. And oh, you know what? Someone asked me what was wrong with their cookies, and that was probably the problem. She probably overmixed. But you get your cookies won't really dry, and you'll when you go bite into them the next day, they'll get almost like disintegrate in your mouth, the icing. It's kind of weird. So you can definitely overmix your icing. Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you, Regina. Thanks, Alicia. I hope you guys have fun doing the cookies. Thank you, Lisa. Bye, Danielle, Alicia, Stephanie. Jen, how did yours turn out? If this class was easier for you, I am so glad to hear that. I am going to be having that cocoa bomb on Christmas Eve, Alicia. I'll let you know how I like it. I'm sure it's delicious, though. Everything you make is delicious. How do I not overmix? So you just want to mix, it depends on what recipe you're using. The one I'm using, it says to mix the icing just no more than 3 minutes. So look at your recipe. You just want it to be like a marshmallow consistency, almost where the icing comes to a peak but then folds over. That's how you know you're done mixing it. So you want it to peak but also not stay at a peak. If it stays at a peak, you may have over mixed. Thank you so much, Nicole. I gotta stop by your shop. Thank you guys. I hope that answered your question, Joanne. I've mixed before where it's like marshmallow fluff, and that's like way too much mixing. So you just need to do it till it's thick enough to where it peaks, and then the peak falls over. Not right away, it just takes a second. Bye, Sheila. Thank you so much for coming. Bye, Shauna. I'm so glad you guys had a good time. Yeah, like so thick. Maybe like jarred like icing, like from the grocery store. That might be like a good thing to compare it to. That's too thick. Thank you, Alicia. Thanks, Farida. I'm so glad you had fun. I see a lot of you guys are leaving right now. I just want to say thank you so much for your support. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the class. I hope you love your cookies. They take about 18 hours to dry, so just leave them on your table or counter. Tomorrow morning, if you want to cover them, you can, but they won't be ready to wrap until probably tomorrow afternoon. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad your cookies turned out great for Rita. Thank you so much, Jody. Bye, you guys. It was so good talking with you guys tonight. Thank you. I hope you guys had enough green. Let me know if you ran out of any icing. Although I'm not doing this class again, so I guess that's, but I would like to know if I need to be more careful with how much icing to give you guys. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks, Sharon. Bye, Jen. Thank you for tagging me, guys. I will take a look at that later tonight. I'm so glad the kids had fun, Marcy. Oh, I'm so glad you had fun, Alexia. Thank you so much for joining. You guys are awesome. Oh, you ran out of green. I'm so sorry, Shannon. I'm going to be extra heavy scooper for the next class. You ran out of brown? Oh my goodness, Elizabeth, I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting me know. This is good to know. Remember, this is my first one. I'm not used to filling everybody's bags. You guys usually fill them out, so it's good to know if I'm low on anything. Thank you so much, Megan. Bye, Sharon. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know when to log off on here. I can't see how many people are watching. Let me see. 47. So when we get down to like a couple people, I'll log off. But if you guys have any questions, I'm going to stay on here and hopefully I can answer them for you. Good to know. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Susie. I would love feedback, even negative. I always try to improve. So if you're not comfortable putting it in the comments here, totally okay. Just send me an email. Merry Christmas. Bye, Erin. I'm so glad, Anna, that they turned out cute. We need some brightness right now, don't we? Oh, am I on here? I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the messages on my phone, and yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. That was embarrassing. Kendall, I cannot wait to see your cookies. Tell your mom to post them on here when I'm done with the video. I would love to see them. But I hope you had an awesome time. Thank you so much, Shauna. I always love having you guys in class. Awesome. Thank you, Kirsten. Is it Kirsten? Thank you, Kirsten. Or Kirsten. Ooh, there's an option for me to bring you guys on the camera. I wonder if I can, if people can share their work on video on here. I'll have to try that next time. I think I'm going to give you guys 2 more minutes. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope you guys all have wonderful Christmas and happy holidays. I'm so glad you like your cookies, Katie. We finally were able to take a class. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna head out. Would love to see your cookies in the comments. So bye everybody. If you need to see a picture of the cookies, go ahead and go. I have it on my feed, on my Facebook feed, as well as my Instagram. But hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you, Colleen. Thanks, guys.